We have already covered the top 10 family Christmas movies that you need to watch this Christmas, but now it's time to take a look at the more adventurous and less family-based Christmas movies that you need to be watching this Christmas. In at number 10, Your Christmas or Mine.
There's lots of things you don't know about me, James Hughes.
Got you something.
Yeah, for me, Your Christmas or Mine is on this list. Simple reason being that I think younger viewers would easily get bored, whereas I think the older viewers would actually be entertained by this film, as it's sort of like a romantic comedy sort of film, and it's a bit different from all the other types of films that you're going to see on Amazon or whatever, because it feels unique, because it feels fresh. That's the best way of putting it, as the main story is about two students which have wrapped up uni and are ready to head home for their Christmas celebrations. However, they suddenly get the genius idea to go, no what, I'm gonna spend Christmas with their family, but both of them get the same idea. So both of them, one goes on one train, one goes on another, and they go to each other's families. However, there's something wrong there, because they're not going to be together. One's going to go to their parents and one's going to go to their parents, and obviously that's just going to cause a fucking havoc. And there's a snowstorm which causes havoc as well, because now they can't travel to and from and to meet each other up, or even just go, right, fuck this idea off, we'll just go back to each other's houses. But that was the magic of this, because it just shows a different kind of dynamic than this person who doesn't know these sets of people, and this person that doesn't know this set of people, and normally you get introduced by a partner. However, that doesn't happen in this scenario, and I think that was a different kind of film, different kind of story, and a different kind of perspective on the Christmas story and the magic of Christmas. In at number 9, The Night Before.
You can say only your right eye is working.
Do I look weird now?
Yes, you look weird. Still weird. Weirder.
And yeah, why not give this one a watch? Because this is like a piss up on Christmas Eve, and it's like a celebration almost, that this is an annual thing for these three guys, which the movie is about. And I think it's a great film. It's funny, it's fucking hilarious, because you've got this idea of that they've done this celebration since they was in their teens, of going out Christmas Eve, getting on the smash, and absolutely enjoying it. However, now this is going to be their last chance, so they've got to make it as big as they possibly can this Christmas Eve night out, because this is going to be their last Christmas Eve night out, simply for the fact that they're getting older, and one of them's going to have a kid, and the responsibilities seem to be outweighing the fact of just let's just go on another night out, and an insane night out. Everybody's getting older and feel that it's time to wrap it up. You've got the idea of Christmas going around, you've still got this idea of loving being with the lads, going out for a drink, getting on the smash, and this other idea of like the togetherness that they have and the comedy that this movie brings. I think it's just a fantastic movie. You can watch your comedies of Home Alone, Elf, whatever, of these ones which are for the family, but when it comes to ones without the family, The Night Before is definitely a great comedy movie to watch. In at number 8 is Jack Frost.
It's me, Dad. Honest.
For me, I think this is an extremely underrated great Christmas movie, and for those thinking this is a family movie, or even thinking this movie's shit, both of you are wrong in my opinion, because one, it's too fucking sad, and two, this is not a shit film. This is an absolute great film in my opinion, as it's about Michael Keaton's character, who is trying to be a rock and roll star, following his dream of going out there, being a rock star, earning money for his family, and that's what he wants to do as his job. However, the problem in this film isn't that he's trying to chase his dream, it's the fact that he's not spending enough time with his kid. And it isn't until when it comes to the last doors and the last knockings of his life where he suddenly realises that he needed to spend more time with his kid, and when on the trip back, after he regrets taking this opportunity to spend Christmas in some random place in America, apart from being with his kid, he then turns the car around and decides to go back. However, it's too late by then, because then a snowstorm hits, he can't see where he's going, tragic accident happens, and then he dies. So he never was able to spend that time with his kid that he always did, touring or being away from his family or in the studio, whatever, and he never kept his promises to his kid. And it just seems like a real shame, until like a year later, when his son makes a wish using the harmonica that his dad gave him to make a wish to bring him back, and he ends up coming back as a snowman, and it's a real wholesome moment of seeing him and his son spending time with each other. It takes a bit of time, don't get me wrong, for him to even trust this snowman is real, and it's his dad, but I think it was a real great idea, that particular thing of them to finally getting to say goodbye to each other when it comes to saying goodbye properly, and also for them to actually spend that time and get to know each other better and bond better in that particular moment, in which is a fantastic movie. And if you want to go watch this, I would definitely give this a watch. In at number 7, Batman Returns.
Thanks for saving the day, Batman. I'm afraid the circus gang is back.
If you're thinking, why is this movie on this list? Well, it seems very festive here because it's based around Christmas. And I think there isn't many superhero movies set around Christmas. And if it was, if Hawkeye was a movie, I would have definitely suggested that because that is a brilliant show. And I would still go watch that because that is based around Christmas also. But Batman Returns for me is an ultimate Christmas movie, which is a solid sequel to the original Batman movie. You're getting Penguin in there, you're getting Catwoman, Catwoman's great backstory. I think it's such a great Batman movie, which is underappreciated at times because people only think about the first Michael Keaton movie rather than the second Michael Keaton Batman film. And for me, it's Christmassy, it's got a nice aura to it, it's a Tim Burton film. Again, why not give this a watch this Christmas, because it's a bit different to all the other films that you're probably watching this Christmas, let's be honest. In at number 6, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Yeah, this one is definitely one that I think 90% of you guys watching probably have never heard of what Silent Night, Deadly Night is. Well, I'll enlighten you. It's about a killer Santa around Christmas who he was an orphan, but then suddenly turned into a mass murderer, and it is a great watch, especially the first one. I wouldn't suggest watching the second one because that's just a repeat of the first film, so I'm going to save you trouble there, but definitely watch the first film of that. And for me, it's the best Killer Santa movie. I love Terrifier 3, which is a bit Killer Santa-ish, and other Killer Santa type of films, but this one for me is the best one that I've currently seen. If there's better ones out there, let me know down in the comments down below. But for me, I think if you're wanting a Killer Santa, something different, somewhat more of a horror sort of vibe, I'd definitely give Silent Night, Deadly Night a watch for that Christmas horror classic sort of vibe. In at number 5 is Love Actually.
Would you like it gift wrapped?
And for those people that don't live in the UK or live anywhere around the UK, you might never have heard of Love Actually, and it is a Christmas classic, star-studded to hell with all the British big names, and it has Andrew Lincoln in, the guy out The Walking Dead, which a lot of people thought was American for some fucking reason, because he must be so good at his fucking job, put it that way. But there's a lot of great actors in this film, which is honestly star-studded, and there's several of them where you go, oh, it's that guy, oh, it's that person from this and this and this. There's several of them. And the movie is fantastic about the story of love around Christmas, and it tells several different points of view of people's experiences of love around that particular Christmas, building up to Christmas and everything like that. And I think that is fantastic, and it's such a different kind of Christmas movie, and I don't need to explain this too much, because as soon as you bang it on, you'll see several different points of view, and you'll be a bit like, whoa, this is weird. He's put it this way. It's like the Pulp Fiction of Christmas. It goes from this scenario to this scenario to this scenario to this scenario, but somehow there's a link in all of those little love stories, and that they all come together somehow in little ways and little things at the end of the film. And it's such a fantastic watch. I can't explain this enough. Go and give Love Actually a watch because it's fantastic. In at number 4 is Gremlins.
Don't ever feed him after midnight.
For me, this is a Christmas classic and one for all people to watch. Yeah, some families might decide to not show their kids Gremlins because it might give their kids nightmares, hence why I put it on this list. But for me, I would put it more towards the family section, but it's on there as a technicality for those that don't want to give their kids nightmares of these green-looking gremlin fuckers, in which to me are fantastic in terms of a villain in this film. And again, like we mentioned earlier with Silent Night, Deadly Night, I think there's a gap in Christmas movies where you're fed up of watching likes of magic, the Christmas magic and the love around Christmas and all these films, which there's so many different films that fit under their categories. Whereas with like horror Christmas movies, they're very rare to find and very hard to find. And then sometimes when you fancy a horror movie, you'll just say, oh, fuck my Christmas movies off, I'm going to watch a normal film. Whereas this movie and a few others that are on this list might actually tempt you to go, know what, it's Christmas and Halloween mix, let's give it a watch. And that's where I think Gremlins really fits in. And the movie is simply about an inventor buying a gift for his son when he walks into a random Chinatown shop and finds this new Mogwai creature which he's never seen before and thinks that'll be a great gift for his son, and lists off the rules that he can't get this creature wet, that he can't feed it after midnight, and there's several other different kinds of rules that he must follow to keep Gizmo safe. You're already thinking, what happens if those rules get broken? The movie answers that question for you, and it respawns fucking gremlins everywhere. These annoying little creatures which are just going to cause fucking mayhem. And for me, I think this is an incredible movie. If you ain't seen it, defo give this a watch this Christmas. Before we jump back into this video, guys, please do us a massive favour and smash that subscribe button, because you do not want to miss a thing this week, next week, and the week after, because we've got tons and tons of content planned for you guys, and you can do us a massive favour by smashing that subscribe button, joining the community, getting updates to all the latest videos from the YouTube shorts to the actual videos. It is well worth it, completely free, and you will not regret it. In at number 3, Santa Who.
You really think it's healthy to let him believe that that amnesia victim is really Santa?
Yeah, this one is on this list simply for the fact that, again, younger viewers I don't think would appreciate this one as much as older ones. It is simply about Santa losing his memory, forgetting who he is, and is living like a normal life, trying to figure out who this guy is, and actually plays Santa at a mall thinking that, oh, it's just a job, whatever, because he can't remember who he actually is when he was delivering presents and shit. He doesn't have a vague idea of what he is, and they're trying to spark memories off, meeting people, and even send him off to a family who think it's their long-lost granddad. And they're trying to find out where this person belongs, but you can see traits of him as a Santa, and it's fun watching him trying to unravel who he is, doing normal jobs, doing normal stuff, to then finally realise what his purpose in life is, and that he is actually Santa. But it is a fantastic movie. In at number 2, Terrifier 3.
Oh, Red 5. Yeah. Hi, yes, that's me, guilty as charged.
And we mentioned Terrifier 3 earlier, and I think that Terrifier 3 for me is a great film. But then others might question, is this really a Christmas movie because they released it in October? And I tell you now, this is the most Christmas movie I've ever fucking seen, and if this ain't a Christmas movie, I don't know what the fuck is. Because the guy's dressed as Santa, the guy rocks up acting like Santa at the start of the film and tries to fake deliver presents and start killing people in the house. It is very fucking sick, messed up, but that is the sort of film that some people love to watch around Christmas. Definitely not a family movie. Just want to put that in big brackets. This is not a family movie. Definitely not. And for me, this is definitely, like we mentioned earlier, with like Silent Night, Deadly Night, one of those movies which is a gap where you're thinking, oh, I can't be asked watching a Christmas movie, what we got on the shelf, and then you're thinking about putting something else on completely different to Christmas, but then this one comes along and you're thinking, Christmas and horror come together, bish bosh, Bob's Your Uncle, and Terrifier 3 is definitely going on. And I think this is fantastic, the third sequel in the Terrifier franchise. And for me, it takes the Terrifier franchise up to a whole new level with this, and really cements Art the Clown as a real fucking movie villain. And again, if you ain't seen this particular film, I would suggest that this movie is very gory and very violent. And if that's your cup of tea, definitely give this a watch. This is right up your trouser. But if you're like, I'm fucking sick of blood and I throw up when I see it, then that's probably not your type of a movie. I'm not gonna lie, and I think you probably won't get through like the first 5 minutes of the entire film. In at number 1 is Die Hard.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
And Christmas really doesn't start until Hans Gruber falls off the Nakatomi Plaza. And if you don't know what that sentence means, 1, you haven't watched Die Hard. 2, you need to watch Die Hard. And 3, you haven't lived till you've watched Die Hard. Let's be honest, all 3 of those things are true in that sentence, because Die Hard is one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time, and is always an excuse around Christmas to go, What Christmas movie shall we watch? Oh, Die Hard. Well, it's not really Christmas. Well, it fucking is, because it's Christmas tree, it's Christmas Eve, and it's an excuse to watch Christmas movie which is full of action and guns and violence and shit like that. And that is the perfect excuse. And that's why we all love fucking Die Hard with Bruce Willis shooting up the gaff on Christmas Eve. And for me, I think this is just a perfect movie, because it's just like one guy just rocks up going to an office Christmas party, and then these terrorists rock up and they try taking people hostage as they want all these bearer bonds, millions of pounds in bearer bonds, and they're holding hostages to whatever. And then you've just got Bruce Willis going, I'm not being a fucking hostage. I'm going to take this situation by the scruff of the neck and sort this shit out myself. And then just goes up and down the Nakatomi Plaza, shooting up people and just having a good old time on Christmas Eve. And I think if you have not watched Die Hard, this is your perfect opportunity this Christmas to bang on a good fucking Christmas film. I'm not going to lie, you ain't fucking seen a good Christmas movie unless you watch Die Hard. Let us know down those comments down below what Christmas movies you will be watching this Christmas, and is there any that we've missed off our list to be suggesting to older viewers. And if you haven't already checked out our family Christmas movie top 10 that you should be watching this Christmas, check that out right now.